Hello, welcome to Toffee TV. This is the Sunday Supplement. Myself, Paul Nealon, and I'm here to speak about Everton's 1-0 loss against Leeds at Goodison Park. Their first victory over Everton in the Premier League at Goodison Park. That record's out the window now. I think that's 4 defeats out of 5. And yeah, it's where to begin. I suppose we'll begin with the lineup because, obviously we had Pickford in goal, no Olsen on the bench, bizarrely. I wonder what that was all about. Then we had a back three of Keane, Godfrey and Holgate being the captain. For me, that kind of shows what he thinks of Holgate and possibly what he thinks of Michael Keane, not making him captain. But, he went with those three. Not sure what the story is with Mina. He had a poor game the previous week against Fulham, so maybe he was dropped because he was shite in that game. Davies and Iwobi wing back. I understood why he went with Davis at right wing back, but I don't understand why he went with Iwobi at left wing back. I probably should have just kept Iwobi on the right wing back. He had a good game against Fulham for the first time in a long time. I've seen him having a good game. And Davis done well there. I think it was the game after Seamus Coleman got injured against Brighton. And I think that's when he came in and filled in that position just for the end of the game. But we were coasting that game. The game was already pretty much won. So, yeah, look, I understood why he did that. But, Nkunku, for me, he looked brilliant in the League Cup. But it is the League Cup, and I appreciate that. But he did play against West Ham and a couple of other teams that were decent. So and he looked very good. So I don't understand how someone like him, the speed of him, he's got the natural abilities to play that position. He's left-footed, he's fast, he gets up and down, he can tackle. This is a guy that, outmarked Yarmolenko out of a game in the League Cup and destroyed West Ham down the left-hand side in that game too. Bizarrely, can't get a run. John Joe Kenny, for some reason, played all season at Schalke last year, can't get a run. In what you probably could have put a back four in there if you had those available, and put either Godfrey or Holgate on the bench, whichever one you weren't going to go with. But yeah, it's just it's bizarre. I'm not going to question what Carlo Ancelotti sets up or whatever. He's probably just doing the best with what he's got at his disposal, and what he has at his disposal so far. What I've mentioned is not great now, is it? Let's be honest. So then we have in midfield with Decore and Alan, and then to fill the rest of the positions, as I don't know where they were playing. James, Dom was obviously up top, isolated again, and then Richarlison. Yeah, I suppose with the chances, early on we had the chance with Tom Davis, who started brightly at right wing back, and he got the ball in for Decore. I thought Tom, I know it's not his natural position, but I thought he done okay, considering maybe the standard I've set for him of late is just so low that all I expect from him is the basics, to try win the ball and just try and give it to a person in a blue jersey. He done that yesterday, I have to say, and obviously the ball that he gave in, there was nothing wrong, it was the perfect ball. Decore just needs to put it in one of the corners. Unfortunately, it falls to him, and you'd imagine if that falls to Dom in there, that's a goal. That's a specialty at the moment. Anything in that position, if the Dom hits it, it generally goes in, especially the form he's in. Richarlison, I think the same as well, and probably James. But the fact that it falls to Decore, unfortunately, he misses. Their keeper makes it. I would say it's a good save, but Decore made it fairly easy for him. Then they went down the other end, and they were good. I have to say, it was the first time I watched them live, and I did think they were quite good. I was worried every time they came on the attack. I actually put out a tweet thinking, these are gonna hammer us. The way they've started, and the starting 11 that we had, the wing backs we had, who were just defensively, I would say, kind of suspect, especially on the left with Iwobi. And that wasn't his fault. He's not his natural position getting back or whatever. But I did think at times I was watching him getting back, very slow to get back, just trying to jog and thinking, oh, yeah, well, one of the centre-backs will get there. But anyway, the ball comes in, and it's an absolutely unbelievable save by Jordan Pickford with his leg, and it kept us in the game. And then they had other chances. Aylin had a ball in from the right-hand side. I think Rafinha was the one who got the header. Pickford made a good save, and then I think it was Harrison gets the shot then, which was going in, and Godfrey manages to clear it off the line and goes over the bar. and it kept us in the game. And then we had our own chances as well. Obviously, the ball in by James for Holgate, and he has a volley. I think there, if maybe a more attacking player is hitting that, would hit with a bit more conviction and a bit more venom, a bit more power, basically. But unfortunately, that wasn't to be. The keeper saves it as well. Then we had that goal by James that was absolutely sensational. It's just he was a fraction offside, and we were a victim of VAR there a couple of times in this game. But that was a brilliant, the way he took it down, the way he finished. I thought actually James, for the first game in a while, he actually turned up and he was more on the ball, more alive. Maybe getting him out of that position where he was pigeonholed on the right, which is not his natural position. I do think he's better through the middle. I think more stuff comes out of him through the middle. He's better creatively. But we definitely missed Luca Dean, without question. You know, he's just so vital and pivotal to the way we play that, you know, he's such a big miss when he's out of the team. And I think we're really going to struggle without him in the team. We obviously struggled without Seamus Coleman in the team, natural width on that right-hand side. And now on the left now without Luke. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a struggle, I think, and Lord only knows, unless we can get someone in January. I know January's just about a month away now. You know, if we can hang on and get some results. I mean, we've got Burnley up next, but you know, we obviously had the ball in the net again, which was disallowed. Richarlison's header, and Godfrey gets in the way of the keeper. And if you watch it back on the replay, you can see why. You know, I think if Godfrey's not there, the keeper makes the save, but Godfrey attempts to go for the ball, and he was offside. So it was a correct decision. I can't argue with any of the VAR decisions or the referee's decisions on those ones. And then I think it was towards the end of the half, then Harrison gets a header and Pickford comes out. He's in no man's land. And this is the thing about Jordan Pickford, is he'll make good saves, and he'll make the saves that you won't expect him to actually make. And then he comes out and he's like, these crosses that he comes for, you know, people were bigging him up, going, oh, he made this many saves, this and that. I'm just not a fan of Pickford. Every game he seems to become a talking point, and when your keeper is becoming a talking point every single week in a negative way, no matter what he does, he's in the limelight. You know, people are waiting for him to make mistakes, and it has to be on his mind. He has to see this all over social media. I'm sure he's on there. I'm sure he sees all this, and I'm sure obviously it's affecting his confidence, because when he's coming for crosses, he's all over the shop, and it's just tough, because I do think Olsen will be a lot more commanding and will bring a lot more solidity for this season, and maybe then I think we should probably be saying goodbye to Jordan Pickford if we can at the end of the season. And I don't want to keep harping on and, you know, disgracing him, because yes, he's been good, but I don't understand how he's England's number one. Now, he's made 3 brilliant saves throughout the game, and I'll come to a few of them in a minute, but then when you look at it, when they get their goal in the second half, how he lets that one in, firstly, how he's allowed to get the shot off in the first place. I mean, he's allowed to take his time. Oh, look, I'll have a look around. Can I give it to a player? No, okay, I'll just have a shot. Through Godfrey's legs and straight in the bottom corner. And I think Ped said it in his after-match reaction that a taller keeper saves that. It's hard to disagree with that. So, ultimately, yes, he's kept us in the game. But at the same time, he should be making those saves. And that's the marginal difference. Those are the fine margins that, you know, a better keeper would make. I mean, you look at Allison, for them, he'd have made that save, I'm pretty sure. You know, De Gea, Ederson, they'd probably all be making those saves because they're taller. And, you know, people will say, oh, he's small arms, this, that, and the other. He makes decent saves, but he always makes the saves that you don't expect him to make, and then the ones that you do expect him to make, he lets in, like that one. So it's such a horrible position. I'm glad I never played in goals or anything like that, and I do think maybe someone who is a qualified goalkeeper expert could probably give a bit more expertise on that situation, because I can't really be talking about, you know, oh, he should have had his angles covered, the old cliches and that, because I'm not a goalkeeper, I'm not a goalkeeper coach. Do you know what I mean? I've always played outfield, so for me, but I am looking at from the distance it was struck from. I thought you could be getting across to that, and again, a bigger goalkeeper, as Ped said, would save that, you know. Yeah, and then when they scored, look, we just folded. The usual, when we go a goal down, when we don't have the likes of Luca Dean to help with his crossing abilities, because his final ball is absolutely brilliant, and just the way he gets us up the pitch, and the combination of himself and Richarlison on the left is unbelievable. But then when you have Richarlison and Iwobi there, and they're just occupying the same spaces when we play this new system. Now, it might take a few games for us to get used to this system, but you can't be having wingers and centre mids playing in these wing back positions, because you're gonna naturally have an unbalanced team. And no matter who you have playing as a back three, you're still going to have those problems, teething problems with this new formation. But as well as that, you have to have quality in those positions. And the two players that I mentioned haven't played well for Everton in a long time. Iwobi had a decent game last week, and Tom Davies has come off the bench to have a little bit part in games, and hasn't been highly impressive. I mean, he's came on, done things. He done okay when he came on against Fulham. Came on and broke up a few things and won us a couple of fouls cleverly to help us win the game. It was good in-game management. But again, I'm looking around. John Joe Kenny probably could have played right wing back. Why wasn't he there? There's so many bizarre things going on with us at the moment. I mean, the season started so brightly. We were looking so good, and now it's gone back to the Everton of old. I mean, obviously Pickford makes that great save at the end from Helder Costa. It was a brilliant save, how he got across to it, and I give him credit when he does well. Again, makes a save that you don't think he's going to make, but fair play to him. But no one seems to show any fight. No one wants to try and drag us through games. No one wants to win ugly. Nobody wants to, put it up to them. And I do think, I look at a lot of teams, and I've been saying this for a few years now, is that when you look at teams that we play against and we generally lose against, it's those teams that have the more energy. They don't necessarily have the best players. Look at Southampton. Look at Leeds. Look at probably Spurs. All these teams, I mean Spurs under Pochettino more so than Mourinho. But I remember playing them a few years back, and just the energy about them. Every single player wants to work up and down for the duration of the game. Now, I do see Richarlison doing it, and Dom's told to stay up further up the pitch, and James as well. But the rest of them... and I have to give a mention to Alan, who I thought was absolutely brilliant yesterday. I think, Jesus, if I did this video without giving him some credit, I'd be annoyed. I thought he was absolutely outstanding yesterday, and he set the tone for the rest of them. He's a defensive midfielder, and he's the one running the length of the pitch trying to make things happen because nobody else will. Lack of creativity. I thought Gomez done okay when he came on. Delph, average game. Again, our strength and depth is very, very poor. We're very, very average. And these teams with lots of energy come in and play against our players who are all crocked. And we don't seem to get any results or turn up on the day or whatever it is. But we're going into a Burnley game not on great confidence. We got to win against Fulham. We're back to, another defeat against Leeds at home. And you can say, oh, well, we don't have fans the same. I know that. They're actually behind me. But it's just disappointing. I'm still very much annoyed, and I don't know what is going to happen now over the next couple of weeks. And January can't come quick enough. But then again, will we bring in people in January? Why wasn't there players brought in that could have made a difference now? That's what I'd be putting my hand up and asking. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Toffee TV, and have a nice weekend.